Nah, these EZAs are absolutely crazy. So, if you want to know when they should be dropping in game and what exactly they do, there's the details right here. I will go over it real quick. I'll give my true thoughts and opinions on these units. And yeah, I mean, this worldwide was not the greatest celebration, but it did have good characters in it for sure, like summonable, and most of the EZAs were good except for like Int and Broly. So, anyways, let's get right into it. I'm super excited for these guys to drop in game. So, in case you're wondering, they drop October 1st. Depends what time zone you're in. I don't have an exact date, but if I would had to guess, it would be 4 a.m. Eastern or 2:30 a.m. Eastern time. That's the United States time. So it'd be one of those two times. Most likely, that's the time they usually drop EZAs. So 4 a.m. Eastern or 2:30 Eastern is like the usual time they drop EZAs. So that's when you can expect them. Of course, over here we get rid of that. We get the first, so it could be Monday night slash Tuesday morning is what I'm guessing. So that's when they'll drop. Now let's go over the kits real quick. Of course, he starts here, so let's start with this. We got time limit connected hope, 180%. That's the usual easy A's for a Dokkan Fest LR. Stacks attack, and then greatly raises defense for one turn, and then greatly stacks attack, and then greatly raises defense for one turn again. Key 2, attack and defense was 200% plus an additional attack was 50% when performing a super, reduces damage received by 40%, randomly changes key spheres of a certain type to rainbow. So now he's just a straight up rainbow orb changer. If you look here, it used to be 50% high chance of randomly changing. Now it is guaranteed, which is a great change. That should have been guaranteed. So then he gets more key per rainbow key sphere, launches an additional attack, which has a great chance of becoming a super. That's just straight up. And then plus an additional attack plus 50 and launches an additional super attack with a rainbow key sphere obtained. So pretty easily he could be doing four supers. Three of them most likely. You'll see three pretty consistently, but four could happen a good amount of time. It depends on your build, which I would build this guy additional, and you could give him his defense equips. You could give him some dodge if you want to. You don't want to really give this unit crit, and you'll see why, but definitely additional for sure. Defensive equips, attack equips, and dodge. It really just depends how you want to do it. I would not give him crit. He doesn't need it. Again, you'll see. So, and then of course with the ending, he'll get an additional attack and defense plus 50% and additional damage reduction of 20% from one turn for entry turn, or when HP at 70% or less. So he gets 60% damage reduction turn one, his first appearance, or when HP is 70% or less, which is basically when this would only be happening after. It would most likely be like turn 3, 4 without being able to transform as well as you would get that. But most likely you're going to have 60% damage reduction and then you'll transform. Again, he greatly stacks, so he doesn't need to stay in base like the Vegito to stack defense. Of course, his condition is the same. Activated when HP is 70% or more starting from the fourth turn about. He has a good condition. That is a good condition. Fourth turn, 70%. Or over 70%. That is a good condition, especially with the teams he's on. He has Gogeta Blue who heals on turn 4. Although it is start of turn, still, Gogeta Blue is going to be healing on his team, so again, it is a good condition. Sand Warrior Race Experience Fighter is all the same links, good links. He has good sand links, and then he's on the same teams, of course, because EZA doesn't give you more teams. But again, movie heroes. Um, I can see Fused Fighters get a comeback in the seventh year. Bond a Parent and Child, if we get a leader for that, that team is going to be really good. He's on a good amount of teams. Of course, Super Saiyans is really good right now with the trio, the Broly trio. So he's on probably one of the better teams in the game with the Broly trio. So that's very good. So now we go to Super Gogeta. This is when he becomes God, right? He's an absolute beast here. He's a top 5 unit easily when he goes Super Gogeta. So he greatly raises attack and defense for one turn, and then greatly raises attack and defense for 3 turns on Ultra. So he pseudo stacks for 3 turns. He just gets an extra, basically, an extra 50%. And so he recovers his 30% HP, so you'll be at full health because you need to be above 70% HP to transform. So you'll be at full health. Then you get 5 key attack and defense plus 250, plus an additional attack and defense plus 77% when performing a super. Performs a crit. This is just straight up just performs a crit. That's why you don't give this guy crit. Reduce damage received by 40%, again straight up. Rainbow Orb changes again, 3 key per Rainbow Orb, plus an additional 77%, and launches an additional super attack and guards all attacks with a Rainbow Key Sphere. So it's really important that he gets one Rainbow Orb. He doesn't need a ton of them. Just make sure he gets one, and then he's guarding with his crazy damage reduction. So he's very good. Plus an additional damage reduction of 40% before attacking. So he's going to have 80% damage reduction in slot 1 before attacking, which is really good with guard if you get him a Rainbow Orb. So he's going to be looking real good in slot 1 tanking. And of course, if we continue, he foresees enemy super attacks for 5 turns from character's entry turn. When an enemy is hit by a character's ultra, nullifies unarmed super attacks directed at the character, and then high chance of evading supers. So he does get, I think he loses an additional, right? So he gets, yeah, he gets the guaranteed additional and guards with the Rainbow Orb Stranger. So he can super attack 3 times, but he has guaranteed crit. Of course, he greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn. He's going to be guarding. This unit is phenomenal, especially with the 5-turn Scouter. Again, remember, that's every rotation. Every rotation, you will know where the super attack is for 5 turns. So the earliest you would get it is turn 4, which means it would run out on turn 9, which is good. That is really good. Like, well, it wouldn't even run out on turn 9. It would be active on turn 9, would be the last turn, and it would be gone on turn 10. So that's at the earliest it would be gone is turn 10. So if you have him in the second turn, right, or the second rotation, it'll be gone on turn 11. So he's going to be having that pretty much the rest of the fight when you need it. Really good unit. You can see where super attacks are. You can plan accordingly. I mean, fantastic design. So now, if we go over to Janemba, of course, the same time, October 1st. Again, 4 Eastern, 2:30 Eastern. It really just depends on when they want to do it, but that's most likely when it's going to be. So he actually got a pretty good leader skill buff. Corroded Body Mind Movie Bosses, Key 4. Attack and defense was 170. This is a yellow coin LR, so having him at 170 is pretty good. Although Movie Bosses has a good 200% leader, and this team just sucks, so. But anyways, this Janemba is really good too. I like both of their designs. They're both really good. They did a fantastic job designing these ECAs. Whoever designed the characters for the celebration, other than Int Broly, needs a race. They did a fantastic job. I'm gonna just give the credit to Omatsu just because he's the producer, but whoever actually did the designs for these characters this celebration, easily like the better kits in the game for sure for almost all of the characters. It's really a good job. So let's get into this. So he raised attack for 1 turn, right? Attack and defense for 1 turn, which is 30%, I believe. If you click this. Yep, 30%. And then greatly raised attack and defense for 1 turn and lowers defense, which, I mean, yeah, sure, doesn't really matter. So he gets key 6, attack and defense was 166. He guards all attacks. It used to be in like slot 1 or 2, but now he just guards everything, which is very nice. Reduced damage received by 22%, again straight up. Launches an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super for 1 turn from sorry, my bad. From 1 turn for character's entry turn. So he gets that extra additional there for 1 turn. Mainly just to build him up. Plus an additional key 2 up to 6, attacking defense plus 66 up to 166. Chance of performing a crit plus 22 up to 66% with each attack performed. So again, you don't need crit on this unit. He gets 66% chance to crit. So building him crit, pointless. Don't build him crit. He doesn't need it. And then plus an additional attack plus 66% when key is 22 or more. Plus an additional damage reduction plus 22% as the first or second attacker in the turn. Launches an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack as the second or third attacker in the turn, and great chance of nullifying key blast supers directed at the enemy, and high chance of dodging a super attack. So this guy is going to be really fantastic in slot 2. He's going to get the extra super. He's going to build up. He gets the 22% damage reduction plus the 22%, so he's going to be 44% damage reduction in slot 2. This guy is really good. He should be hitting pretty hard too. And then also, If it's a Ki Blast Super, he has a 70% chance to just nullify it, and then he also has a 50% chance to dodge it if the nullification doesn't work. My Janemba has full dodge, so he's going to have 70% chance to nullify if it's Ki Blast, then a 50% chance to dodge it, and then I think it's like a 27% chance to dodge it again. So my Janemba should not be getting hit by super attacks too often. How I would build it, additional and dodge is how I would go. You could also go the route of additional defense, dodge defense. If you don't like dodge, then additional defense is good. You can give him attack equips for the rage mode. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do. Of course, he rages when HP is 70, or HP is 66% or more starting from the sixth turn. Sixth turn is kind of tough, but it is not sixth turn start a turn. It is sixth turn start a battle, so you'll have this at the end of the good hard fights. So it'll be useful there. I don't think he can do it twice. Yeah, it says once only, so he won't nullify the stuff like giant form. But when we go to the rage mode and look at it, he gets, this is before, so he greatly raises attack and performs a crit, and then massively raises attack and performs a crit. Now he changes all key spheres to physical key spheres, and then gets 16% per key sphere obtained with a guaranteed crit. Guaranteed crit. He's going to hit pretty hard, I would assume. I'm going to guess that he's going to hit hard. That would be my guess. Because he's changing all 23 orbs to physical and then gets 16%. So I mean, if you do the math, right, you just all you have to do is 16 times 23 and then that's the number. So if I do it real quick, 368% attack. He should hit pretty hard. And again, it's guaranteed crit, so it's going to be even higher than the attack stat because it's guaranteed. So this guy is really good. And of course, you can't get hit during this. So if he kills the enemy in this mode, that means you're not even going to get hit at all. So this could be a team protector depending on how hard it hits. It really just depends there. Of course, you get 3 attacks with this guy, so you only get the 16% for the first attack, the first slot. But it's guaranteed crit. He's going to be hitting pretty hard. I think both of these guys are like top 10 units. Gogeta for sure. Janemba, I've seen people say, I saw somebody put him right next to the AGL Blue Bros. I'm like, bro, that is horrendous. I'm not even going to mention the name because, yeah, that is horrendous. Putting him below the sub EZA Int Goten and Tech Trunks is criminal alone already, but put him next to the AGO Blue Goku and Vegeta from Worldwide last year, nah. Criminal. That was criminal work. Deserves jail time. But yeah, this guy is not that bad. He's probably not top 10, but he might be like top 15, top 20. I'd have to really look at it, but he's very good. Me saying that is not like a negative thing at all because all of the units in the top 10 right now are extremely good. They're all good design. It's not like I feel like last year like the top 10 wasn't it's now nowhere near the top 10 as this year. Like there's way more characters in this year's top 10 that are all so crazy that putting them back to like 15 or 20 isn't as bad as last year where the character at like 20 was like you could consider them almost, like I'm not gonna say bad, but you know what I mean. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please drop a sub to the channel, leave a like on this video. I really appreciate it. It helps me out a lot. It lets me know you like my content and to see that I'll post more. So that's it. That's the kit. Got the details, my opinions on it. And when they drop, again, October 1st, depending on the time, it's AM most likely, 4 a.m. Eastern or 1:30 a.m. or 2:30 a.m. Eastern. That is most likely the case. So they're coming out soon. Data download should be out soon. We'll see 100% with that amount.